Hello and welcome to today's recording of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Today we're going to be doing sequence number 8 and we're past that halfway point. We're on day 51 of our marathon 2 Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Last thing we saw was Edward busting out of Nassau after Woodes Rogers had come and blockaded the city and taken over governorship. Let's see where we go from there.
Ahoy, kid. You missed quite a time.
Aye. Pity about Nassau and Blackbeard flying the coop.
Well, we'll see about Thatch. Vane's off to see him now, and I'm following soon.
This is what's left of your experiment in democracy.
Aye. We do as we please here, and we take our time doing it.
But for Christ's sake, Edward, don't anything but the stink of riches wrinkle your nose.
What's got into you, man?
Reality, mate. Reality. See that you ain't pulled into the drink by this drowning rat.
Aye. I've lived longer than most men who trod this path.
Kid actually mentioned Blackbeard and Vane, and they are actually going to be the two that we talk about today from a historical setting. But the first thing we're going to do, instead of hopping aboard our mission point, is we're going to jump in and check out these fleet missions, and maybe we'll get a little bit more coin. Really, Edward, stop charging in the water. So we get a good amount of riches here. Yeah, skip all this. Is there anybody that we need to send? Yeah, there's some that need to go out. Alright, so I guess we'll do this real quick. Show you all how to do this for the... Ooh, that one needs a repair first. Instead of just doing it all on my phone. So we're going to run this and talk about Blackbeard. Blackbeard was born either as Edward Teach or Edward Thatch. And there's multiple different spellings on how his last name truly was. And he was born sometime around 1680. There aren't any really clear records about that. In 1617, while sailing with Benjamin Hornigold, Blackbeard would be placed in charge of a sloop they'd taken as a prize. In September 1717, Hornigold and Blackbeard would meet Stede Bonnet. Blackbeard would take command of Bonnet's ship Revenge, following on November 28th. Blackbeard would take... Ooh, that one needs a repair. November 28th, Blackbeard would take La Concorde and name it the Queen Anne's Revenge. And he would then go on to equip it with 40 guns. By May 1718, Blackbeard would style himself Commodore after taking a handful of ships and headed to blockade the port of Charlestown, South Carolina. He would tell prisoners that he was looking for medicine, and if he didn't get it, he'd send their heads to the governor and captured ships on fire. I think we got one more battle in us for the Northwest Europe. That's good. That's fine. Yeah. After receiving the medicine, he would rob his prisoners, but he would, of course, set them free. Blackbeard heard about Governor Woods Rogers' pardon, but worried that his most recent piracy, he worried that that would essentially void the pardon. So what he did was he sent Steve Bonnet to surrender to Governor Charles Eden. I believe he was the governor of South Carolina at the time. That one's 75, so I need a ship with 80 cargo. Or 90. That one's got 90. I'd rather have 80. Well, let me get these thrown out here real quick, and then we'll finish talking about Edward. One lonely little frigate. Another 75. Do I have another 80? There we do. The Real Mazi. His Royal Majesty's Service, Neptune. And we can do this one. Alright, this will leave us with 2 ships, so we're going to leave them in port and then hop on the boat. Let's check out the upgrades, because we need upgrades. We're getting to that point in the game. 68,000 reales, that's not too bad. Yeah, hull armor is needed. Getting to the point where we're starting to take a beating. Chase cannons, rams, more. That's everything that we can buy for the upgrade without getting more wood and metal. Alright, let's hop on out of here. So after Bonnet had taken his pardon from Charles Eden while he was away, Blackbeard would actually strip his ship and leave the crew marooned. A nice guy Blackbeard was.
Captain's at the helm.
Alright, let's sail to sea. After traveling north and marooning 25 men, Blackbeard would return to Charlestown, receive his pardon from Governor Eden, and Eden would give Blackbeard permission to set sail to St. Thomas to seek commission as a privateer, and was given the official title to Eden's last remaining sloop, which Blackbeard would name. Oh, I can't see it in my notes. What would he name it? Oh, he named it the Adventure. By the end of August 1718, Blackbeard would, of course, return to piracy. Run right into that. There we go. In the same month, the governor of Pennsylvania, I couldn't find his name, the exact guy who put this out, but he put out, the governor of Pennsylvania put out a warrant for his arrest, for Blackbeard's arrest. Hearing about party, when Blackbeard would hang out with notorious pilots like Charles Vane and Calico Jack. This is the same party that in story Edward's headed to now. there anything on this boat? No. That's unfortunate. We're heading to a party. That's right. It's going to have Blackbeard and Calico Jack and Charles Vane. The governor was worried enough to send out 2 sloops to unsuccessfully capture the pirates. I wonder if a battle will be coming. Gust of wind, not good. But, of course, the governor of Virginia... Oh, that's not good. Turned my head for 1 second to look at my notes, and I almost careened right into a rock cliff. That's great.
Let's move.
I wish this was like the camel in Assassin's Creed Origins. You set it, and the thing has a mind of its own. Gone. She either needs to go outside or be fed. You can't. Roblox is all online. Sorry, princess. The remote for the TV. No big deal. It's not. Family life. So where are we? We're headed to see Calico Jack. So the governor sends 2 sloops to unsuccessfully attack these pirates. To capture the pirates, I'm sorry. And then the governor of Virginia, Alexander Spotswood, was so worried about Blackbeard, he issued a proclamation on January 10th requiring all former pirates... Let's get a sea barge here. Gotta dodge. And then we'll go back into the... Well, this proclamation would require all former pirates to make themselves known to authorities, give up their weapons, and not travel in groups larger than 3. Well, alright. That sounds like a load of bollocks, in my opinion. Spotswood would gain... Oh, he's got us swinging the other way. Spotswood would then gain information on Blackbeard's whereabouts and would personally finance an operation to capture him. Ordering Captains Gordon and Brand of the HMS Pearl and HMS Line to travel to Bath. I believe Bath is in North Carolina. Lieutenant Robert Maynard would find he was of the Pearl and would be given command of the 2 sloops and would approach Bath from the sea. Maynard would find Blackbeard and his crew on the inner side of, I believe it's pronounced Oakroke, but I could very well be wrong, because it looks like Orca Coke. This guy got metal. Fire barrels, fire barrels. That one's got cloth, but he's way too far away. So he would, Maynard would find Blackbeard and his crew on the inner side of, I'm going to call it Orca Coke now. He'd find them on November 21st, 1717. That's got to be a typo. He's got to be talking 1718. During the battle the next day, Maynard would lose as much as 1/3 of his forces, and Blackbeard's vessel Adventure would be run aground. Abaco Island. Oh, we got to be headed to Nassau, aren't we? Or shouldn't we be going or should we be going past Nassau? That was Nassau. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. We're headed up to Bath.
Armored command, passed away. Think he's alive, sir?
So we're headed up to Bath. During the next day, Maynard would lose much of his men. Blackbeard's ship would become grounded, and eventually, after this race to where they could of who would get the advantage, Blackbeard and Maynard would meet face to face. After firing and throwing away their flintlocks, Blackbeard would break Maynard's sword with his cutlass. During the battle with Maynard, one of Maynard's crew would slash Blackbeard's neck, but he would continue to battle until he would afterwards. He would be slashed multiple times by multiple men and be finally killed. Maynard would later examine his body and say that Blackbeard's body, he made a special note of this, though it's hard to tell if all this happened before his death or after, but he was shot 5 times and cut at about 20 times. Blackbeard would be estimated to be somewhere between the ages of 35 and 40 at the time. The exact age was not confirmed. We're going to wait a little bit to talk about Vane, at least until after the first mission, until we actually see Vane. Well, we've seen him a little bit, but he's Charles Vane, mate. Yeah, this sequence is there's a lot of information on Blackbeard and Charles Vane. Like even it's with the connections that it seems that Blackbeard had and the his ability to read and write. Didn't I miss the mission? Oh, he's still running. It's believed that he might have been born of a wealthy merchant or lord. So let's see what happens.
A great disappointment you are, Thatch. His mind's made up to stay, he says. It's a sodding. And hang all of you lot that follow this sorry bastard into obscurity.
I know you're come to call me home, Kenway. Your faith in me is kind. But with Nassau done in, I feel I'm finished.
I'm not of the same mind, mate. But I won't begrudge you the state of yours.
You still looking for that
What
sage
cord?
fellow?
Aye.
Taking a prize a month
Jake Rose,
back,
right?
I heard a man named Roberts
she do
was
both?
working a slave ship called
Then why is she so crazy?
Princess.
She had me.
Might want to see about it.
The princess. Cheers, Thatch.
Oh, don't sit there like a barrel of wet fish. We're celebrating my retirement! Uncork this man's breakfast!
Save us a few bottles, eh?
She won't lay down on that.
Far less pepper than those cheap
You
Spanish
poor-
harlots, I assure you.
As you are.
Hello, lads. Lieutenant, you out here?
What? Stay here. Shoot anything that moves.
There was a deserter among them who recalled my face. I sliced into his gullet before any word left his lips.
Anybody see you?
Don't think so, sir. But I reckon Kenway suspects something. He don't miss much.
You're right, I don't.
Tell me about the beat.
A fair gathering, sir. Most too drunk to stand.
That will suit our purpose. Tell me about everything. What sort of man is he?
It's Thatch, sir. At least that's what he calls himself. But he's a mad bugger, he is. Cracked as a glass teapot, sir.
Details now. Stop talking in gibberish.
Well, sir, he likes his drink, for instance. Only he makes him queer. Takes the usual rum clip and fills it with half a weight of gunpowder to top it off.
Did I hear you were right? He drinks gunpowder?
Aye, sir. Just for show. Only last week, he rounded up a score of his crew and bade us sit in the hold of his ship while he burnt off sulfur and other sickening minerals. We just sat there like it was one of a million pits of hell and nothing less ordinary.
Good God! What the hell for?
Like to test his crew is all. Tease out their fitness and what. Of course, it always turned out he was the fittest of the lot. Thought for a moment I'd die there. Bloody savages.
Have no fear, soldier. This will be the end of them. Come on. It's time. Quickly, send the signal. And remember always, this day.
What the devil?
That's not good. Why he's on my ship. He should be on his ship. Well, that's right. At this point, the Queen Anne's Revenge is sunk. Yeah, needed more.
Ready to fire, sir! Their fire powers! Fire! Brace for impact! Ready to fire!
So glad I opened up that,
One did some damage! Fire! Fire! Brace yourselves and brace! Go to him, them! Fire! Stay on the premise, submarine! Fire! Mastermind the Vulcan! Sections crossed!
let's board it.
Trim the yards off the wind! Muzzle your tops! Pull! Reel the levers in! Come on, the heads! 3 or 4! Let's go for more! Cut up to patience! Bury them all, boys! Take no dust! I'll cleave you lengthwise! How you you be doing, Edward Milan? I'll not fall here today, bastard. Come at me. Can you fight free, lad? Can you make it clear? Here's the path to perdition!
Ooh, that was brutal. Well, I thought he was going to hit the other guy. How lovely. Well, at least I don't have to destroy it. I don't have to move forward it.
Pull them in with a will!
When he was down, he should have died. That's not cool. Hello, Captain. Nobody killed the scouts? Alright, I'll take it.
In a world without gold, we might have been heroes!
That's not cool. Let's get out of here.
Devil curse me. Where's the jackdaw?
What of Thatch, sir? Did he fall? Captain?
He drinks damnation.
More sail! All sail!
Unfurl aloft! Man your sheets!
Oh, to me, Johnny Poker, come rock and roll me over. To me, Johnny Poker, do. Oh, to me, Johnny Poker, the skipper is a rover. To me, Johnny Poker, do. Oh, to me, Johnny Poker, the mate is never sober. To me, Johnny Poker, do. Oh, to me, Johnny Poker, the bosun is a tailor. To me, Johnny Poker, do. Oh, to me, Johnny Poker, we'll all go on a jamboree. To me, Johnny Poker, do. Oh, to me, Johnny Poker, the packet is a rolling. To me, Johnny Poker, do. Oh, to me, Johnny Poker, we're pulling all together. To me, Johnny Poker, do. Oh, to me, Johnny Poker, we'll haul for better weather. To me, Johnny Poker, do.
So that was rough on Edward, a little bit. See his good friend and possibly one of his mentors go down like that. How far am I going? Do I have to go all the way across the map? Because if that's the point, I'm going to fast travel. Yep. But there is no fast travel point there. Can I fast travel there? No. Guess I could fast travel to Tulum and then go west. Oh no, that's east. My bad. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Hungry? You're eating that popcorn like you are.
It's yummy.
I really need to turn this off. Because it's embarrassing. Hey Cortana, stop listening. I didn't want to end up on the island. That's nice. I believe it said I could do some more upgrades though. Nope, it was really wrong. It was just appearance stuff. Wally does not look happy, but he never really looks happy. So we're going to start the next mission, and at that point, then we'll talk about Charles Vane. What do you have? Rum and sugar. worth pillaging. Now, if it had wood or metal, make sure she doesn't eat that, whatever she is. Okay, she decided to lay on. I thought she was going to eat that plastic bag for the cable. Anybody got anything over here? Rum and sugar. You got rum and sugar too. Is that all you guys have? Is sugar and rum? Man.
You're very immature people.
I'm sure there's a joke in there about Spanish somewhere, but I'm not going to be the one to make it. It's a whale. Daughter ate all the good pieces of the popcorn.
I got it for myself.
Okay, so I stole the poor pieces of the popcorn.
You just
I like popcorn. Popcorn doesn't like me though.
thirsty for whatever reason.
I should drink my water though. So far away from my starting point. You have wooden cloth. And you're the only one in there. This is gonna end up poorly for me. It's just a feeling I have.
Enemy making for us, sir!
But you are not the only one in there.
Finish inside! Just the lone second!
Awaiting, unbatten yourselves!
Shot the crippler! Fire! Ready to fire, sir! Nose all but me!
Ship was blockading the port for some reason. Oh, that's because this is a... What is this?
Hey, soon have you kissing my anger, boy!
Grappling hooks
I don't
away!
know what this area is. It's probably some DLC account then. Dude, why did you jump off the ship? Prepare the ship.
Brace yourselves for collision!
Where's that other? Yep, Pintos Island. I thought so. And you have rum and sugar too. Alright, so I guess we'll just leave the way we came. And after pillaging the only one that had anything other than rum and sugar. Oh, they're not going to sing in here. This is a restricted area. I am tired of just saying rum and sugar.
Dressed all in white, Lowlands away. I dreamed my love came in my sleep. Lowlands, Lowlands away.
Our force patrol these waters.
So Thatcher's been topped. Fuck's sake.
He was outnumbered. I couldn't reach him.
Devil damn the man he was fierce, but his heart was divided.
It's hard to let go of the life you know best.
My own idiot father liked to brag about we were meant to purchase a ship of his own. I'll get a privateering contract, Charlie. Your old dad'll be a captain. Drowned in a whiskey bottle before he ever left shore. Right, Kenway. Been musing on this plan of yours. This observatory you're always going on about. How do we know it exists?
We find a slave ship called the Princess. Aboard should be a man called Roberts. He can lead us to it.
Well, them slavers work for the Royal African Company. Find one of their ships and start asking some questions.
So that man.
Get the mains!
What's our course, Captain?
We're looking for slave ships. Any that work for the Royal African Company.
You don't mean to traffic human cargo now, do you?
No, Jesus, Addy.
What?
You know me better
You
than
wonder
that.
why I start a sentence and then
We're
stop
only
it?
after information.
I don't like interrupting
We'll
the
find where the
conversation on the
princess
game.
docks in her spare time.
The Princess. A slave ship.
Right. Blackbeard told me there's a good chance we'd find the Sage aboard.
Alright, so Vane is getting out ahead of us. Let's catch up. So, Charles Vane was born in 1680.
What did you do?
Phone kind of went a little crazy.
Captain, Vane's just sunk a merchant
A
schooner.
little?
Damn! Can't that animal stay the course we agreed to?
So, he first worked as an independent captain in 1717. Seems to be our favorite year for these pirates that we've met. By the winter, he was considered the leader of Nassau's one of the leaders of Nassau's pirate republic. After hearing about the pardon from King George the First, Vane would lead the pirates who opposed the pardon.
Cannot be far now.
Let's see if we can find a ship. But I bet if we just follow him, he'll find it for us.
Larboard! Seems we've got a survivor!
So on February 23rd, 1718, Vane would be captured by Captain Vincent Pierce when he arrived in Nassau. Benjamin Hornigold and Thomas Nichols would urge Pierce to release Vane as a show of good faith, which he would do. After Vane would take the king's pardon, what do we got over here? Royal African Pearl, that's the ship.
Don't sink that slaver ship, can we? There's hundreds of innocent men aboard.
I know.
After being released, Vane would take the king's pardon, but on March 21st, Vane would return to pirating.
Captain! The slaver ship is running! Damn fool!
I'll get us in close.
By capturing the Jamaican sloop. I don't have the name of the sloop. It was just a Jamaican sloop.
Damn that Captain Vane! He's unloading everything he has!
He'll sink it if he's not careful. He'll get closer.
The goal of the chain shot is to take out the mast so he can't go anywhere. So in the game terms, it doesn't truly destroy them, it just slows them down. Oh, that's not good.
I'm taking us close.
It's good fun.
Stay aboard, boys! Fast as you are! All clear! Pull away!
Chase all the bastards down, Cameron. I'll murder the men who stole my ship.
Oh, we're right next to the fort.
Remember what we're after.
Keep wide of the fort, Captain. Race!
Get down, Vane.
Fire! Fire! We're ready, sir! Reach the topsail! Got it coming! Brace yourself! Don't sink that slaver ship, can we? There's hundreds of innocent men aboard.
I know.
Alright, so on March 21st, Vane would go against his
We're going over. Find the captain.
partner by capturing that
Guns
Jamaican
and steel
sloop.
arms are louder than sticks and spittle.
You like saying the word sloop.
Just find the captain.
Oh, I sailed that one right past the captain's face. Are you making fun of everything I say now? I know. I didn't. Alright, I'll take it. He stabbed me and then ran off. One more. That'll do. Alright. So Vane would repeatedly harass Piers, eventually capturing the ship, the
This
Lark.
captain claims the princess sails out of Kingston every few months.
Right. What's that course?
You made ash of my sails and rigging, jackanapes. You owe me a share.
Damn it, Vane!
Oh, Charles, what a surly devil you are.
Don't fuck with me, Jack.
Oh, but it's my mandate to fuck with you, Charles.
Lads,
See, the boys and I had a bit of counsel while you were wasting time with this lot. And, well, they figured I'd be a fitter captain than you reckless dogs.
I'll cut you another cunt, Tracer!
Ooh. This one I figure I might sell for a tenner down in Kingston. But, with you two grog blossoms, I can't take any chances.
You regret this day, Rackham.
I regret most of them already. Tie them up! Cast them off.
Mutiny.
I'll gut you, Jack Rackham! I'll open you up, I'll tear out your organs, and string a bloody loop with them!
Stop your goddamn howling, Vane! There's no bloody use!
Well, well, the fearsome Edward Kenway speaks, eh? Pray tell us, Captain, how to quit this predicament. And tell us what genius you have for sailing a boat with no sails and no rudder.
Shut your gob!
Shut your gob. Anyway, Vane would return to pirating, reportedly harass Piers, capturing the ship, the Lark. Leaving Nassau on April 4th, Piers would chase for 4 days after leaving Nassau in control of pirates. It was around this time that Vane and his crew would rename the Lark the Ranger. That was the ship we saw Vane working on as we attacked the Royal African Pearl. While in Nassau on July 22nd, 1718, Woodes Rogers would reach Nassau and take office as the new governor. Trapping Vane in the harbor, Vane's ship was too large to pass one of the two entrances. While the others would be blocked by Rogers' fleet. That night, Vane would turn a French ship into a fire ship and sailed it into the blockade. If you remember, we did that mission 2 or 3 sequences ago, and they twisted it in this one a little bit using Rackham's ship, kind of leading to this mutiny. We'll read a little bit more after the cutscene. Read a little bit more. I'll tell you a little bit more.
Keep still now. I'll take these oysters you've ordered.
You mad sap. This island's crawling with food if only you'd care to look for it.
Yeah, I am looking, Louse. Found some just here. Don't come following now. Do you hear me? Don't come looking for me.
Wretched fool.
Alright, let's climb up this viewpoint before we go hunt for Vane. So the fire ship actually failed to damage all ships but one. So out of, I don't remember if it was 2 or 4, but he only got 1. But it was enough. Because all the ships would pull out of the harbor, leaving enough room for him to escape. He escaped on a small 24-gun sloop named Catherine. So the way they word it in, I didn't check the name of the ships that we escaped with when we did the fire ship mission, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they took the Catherine as an inspiration for the Jackdaw. Now, Vane would return to Nassau in September to marry, and then in October, he would leave? Then in October he would sail to I'm going to do it again. He basically went up to the island and hung out with Blackbeard, which we just saw. Okarok. November 23rd, 1718, Vane would realize he was outgunned by a French vessel and ordered a retreat. This is kind of where we're at in the game now, except instead of a French vessel, it was he was being marooned for a completely different reason. I missed it. It is back over there. Being seen as an act of cowardice, he was mutinied upon in favor of Calico Jack. There we go. There's my little entrance. February 1719, after sailing the sloop he was left in charge of, he'd be caught in a hurricane and wrecked upon an uninhabited island. That's kind of where we got this area from. It sounds like he's just singing to himself.
Come, let us drink it while we have breath.
When English ships would arrive to gather water, he tried to board upon a false name, but he was recognized by an old acquaintance. Taken to Spanish town in Jamaica and held in prison, he would be tried for piracy and found guilty on March 22nd, 1721. Sentenced to death, he'd be hanged in gallows at Port Royal on March 29th, and aged 40 to 41, his corpse would be hung in what is now Gun Cave. Alright, well, we found Vane. Let's try not to die.
Will you not talk to me, Vane? Are you fixed on this madness?
Madness? Nothing mad about a man fighting to survive, is there?
I mean you no harm, you corker. Now let's work this out like gentlemen.
Oh, God! I've got a bleeding headache on account of your jabbering. Now stay back and let me live in peace.
I would if you stopped filching the food I gather and the water I find.
I'll stop.
Vane! Face me, man!
Heat's gotten to him. The heat has gotten to him. No, he's kind of crazy. Oh, crazier than normal, actually. I really hope I get my money back, because I had like 60,000 reals.
I said not to follow!
Jesus, you've lost your head, man!
It's a fair exchange for finding these flintlocks and grenados.
Listen, Vane. We can hunt with those guns.
And I mean to! No escaping
Not supposed to
me!
get shot.
No, or hit by that grenade, which he is terribly accurate in throwing.
I'll flush you out! Bloody rats will be all that's left of you, Kenway!
get shot, without a doubt. How can I make it?
Can't hide, Gunway!
There wasn't anything I could do about that. That was set. That's a set event.
You and your bloody fairy stories got us into this mess, Kenway. And I'll be damned if I let you drag me into another.
You keep this up, and I'll have to kill you, Vane!
Bloody try, by all means.
They might. I got a pretty face. Oh no! Black Panther. Or yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Black Panther. Black Jaguar. My bad. That's a what? Yes, Black Panther is a superhero.
I see you coming, Kerr. I see you plain and clear.
Can you tell me what his name is? His real name, not his superhero name.
Yeah.
It's not like James Bond. Crocodile, this isn't gonna go well.
You died.
Crocodile. The reason why I didn't want to be in. See, that's karma.
Oh, yeah, I want to kill you.
You and your bloody fairy stories got us into this mess, Kenway.
There's a wall there.
And I'll be damned if I let you drag me into another.
You keep this up, and I'll have to kill you, Vane!
Bloody try, by all means.
There's two. Oh, I remember this part of the
It's either
mission.
you or me who's leaving this island alive, Welcher. Because I'm not going to sail again in a world cursed by your ugly boat. I'll blow you to hell. Blow off some limbs. Not dead yet. Here. Bloody rats will be all that's left.
I'm missing something.
I'll blow you to hell. You can't hide, Goodway. I'll flush you out.
There we go. Let's go air assassinate Charles Vane.
Blow off some
Why are you
limbs.
shooting at me?
I'm trying to shoot.
not dead yet! Here! No escaping me! I'll flush you out! You goddamn fucking
I
Vane! Nancy boy, you only done half a fucking job.
Fucking hell. Is this my reward for believing the best about men? For thinking that a bilge rat like you could muster up some fucking sense once in a while? Maybe Horn of Gold was right. Maybe the world does need men of ambition to stop the likes of you from mucking it all up.
Or maybe you just don't have the stones to live with no regrets.
Don't save me a spot in hell, Shanka. I ain't coming soon.
Well. Alright, so unless the Animus pulls us out, that's the end of sequence number 8, I think. Let's see if the Animus pulls us out. Nope. So, that is the end of sequence number 8. Hope you've enjoyed your time watching, well, Blackbeard die. Because I didn't enjoy that part. But, other than that, I have enjoyed the playthrough. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. If you've liked the content that I bring to you, take a look at the description below. You'll find my social media and my website. And, until next time, have a great night.